I said I'd never put myself through one of these challenges again.
2, 1.
Nothing says family-friendly content like burning your insides with ghost pepper chili.
I should have worn gloves.
Hey, Chew Crew. I am back for a 4th and possibly final time at Dog Central to take on their Ghost Pepper Chili Dog Challenge. I'll make sure to provide links to the 3 previous challenges I've attempted at Dog Central.
Yeah. Yep. They're hot.
But for this one, it wasn't about volume. This was all mental and all heat. All I had to do was eat 3 chili dogs. That's it. 3. That's a snack in my world. The problem, though, is these 3 chili dogs were smothered in Dog Central's secret ghost pepper chili. They weren't willing to share the whole recipe, but a few things they were able to divulge was that there's 2 different types of ghost pepper used in this. One is a ghost pepper chili powder, and then they put in ghost pepper chili extract. The latter clocking in at 5 million Scoville units. For those of you out there that care to know, that's hotter than pepper spray. And as you could see from that first bite, it was hot. It was painful. I remember why I stopped doing spicy challenges. It had been almost 15 years since my last spicy food challenge, but I knew that with this being the last one to check off the list at Dog Central, I just had to come in and give it a shot. The rules for this challenge are pretty straightforward. Get all 3 dogs down in under 15 minutes. You weren't allowed any milk to help you with this challenge, because we all know milk can help. So my trusty beverages, of course, were water and KBC Widowmaker. So 2 things that they say are actually not good for spicy food challenges, because water just spreads the capsaicin around, and alcohol actually makes the heat sensation more prominent. So I ended up making it a little bit harder on myself. So the question remains, why would I ruin a perfectly good Father's Day weekend by ingesting pretty much
Pepper spray strength chili into my gastrointestinal tract? Well, eternal food glory is always a prize to be sought. In addition to that, they offer the chili dogs for free to winners and a sweet t-shirt for their pain and suffering.
I also used this challenge as an opportunity to live stream for the first time. A big thank you to everyone that watched me suffer through both the challenge and technical issues in real time. I'll definitely be doing more live stream events in the future, but one of the things that came up in the chat was a question on how I prepare for challenges like this. It had been a long time since a spicy food challenge, and I had lots of time to reflect on what went wrong the last time. And that last time was up at Sporty's Wing Shack in Pinconning. I really do not ever want to step foot in there again and do their suicide wing challenge. But if you want to see someone suffer, let me know. If enough people want to watch me go through something that would arguably be the most pain I've ever been in my life, I may do it for entertainment purposes.
Speaking of pain, the effects of this challenge were starting to get into full swing.
My eyes are starting to water. I don't want to touch them.
But what I failed to do in that challenge was prepare. I didn't eat the day before, and that made the experience absolutely terrible. This time around, however, I made sure a few hours before this challenge that I ate a hearty helping of oatmeal, bananas, and, as you may recall, one of my favorite foods, rice cakes. All those things are meant to help absorb some of the spice and make the passage through the gastrointestinal tract a little less terrible. Aside from those things, I made a very conscious decision beforehand not to do anything that would give me an advantage while eating the chili dogs. They say Vaseline, lip balm, I could even put lipstick or lip gloss on, for all I care, to create a barrier around the mouth, as well as some say that eating peanut butter or swishing olive oil in your mouth right beforehand, because capsaicin is fat soluble and you create a barrier between the capsaicin and your mouth, All those things minimize the pain during the challenge. Same reason why someone would wear gloves while handling spicy wings or hot dogs. That was something I decided not to do. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I thought it would be the best raw, unfiltered experience to go into this challenge, just me versus the dog, nothing between us. The last thing that I did to train for this challenge was try to adapt my body to the level of capsaicin, or close to it, that I'd be experiencing during this challenge. There's a lot of great places that ship ridiculously hot sauces around the world, but one that I found on Amazon that was readily available and still pretty darn hot was Elijah's Extreme Regret hot sauce. I am not sponsored by them. I don't have any affiliation, but this was one of the hottest ones I could find on Amazon, and it was pretty miserable. I have a few shorts posted on my 3-step challenge preparation guide. If anyone's interested in watching those are in the playlist within the channel.
The other question that had come through was, what are you doing after this? I'm gonna go get me some ice cream. There's a couple good shops in Mount Pleasant that I'm gonna stop at because it's getting bad.
Are we going for ice cream after this?
Yes, we're going for ice cream, yes. The Chew Crew is very happy about that.
Ice cream?
And that's Tim Hortons.
I believe that's the first time I've ever heard a kid not want ice cream.
Speaking of hot sauces, do you have a specific hot sauce you like, and how do you use it? Whether it's a secret family recipe or something you found at a farmer's market or even something off the shelf at a local grocery store. Let me know what your favorite spicy sauce is and how you like to use it. At this point, I was a couple dogs in, and pretty much most of my taste buds I'm pretty sure had burned off at this point. But from what taste buds did remain, they were surprisingly happy. It was really interesting. I've done several spicy food challenges, and for a lot of them, once you get to a certain Scoville unit, it just tastes evil. It's just mean, nasty, just you can smell the heat coming off of the food. And there's really no flavor there, which is why some of them are just so terribly unenjoyable. These dogs in this chili were pretty darn good. If it was maybe like jalapeno, maybe habanero grade level of heat, I could easily eat half a dozen of these and have a wonderful time. I found that the ghost pepper powder actually gave it a really nice smoke to it, almost like a chipotle. And I think that made it, I wouldn't say enjoyable, but definitely less miserable. Aside from the chili, the dogs were, as I've always had them, phenomenal. They have that natural casing to them, so you have that great snap when you bite into them. The buns were nice and soft. They didn't get dry, or they didn't get soggy or mushy. And that made it, I'd say, almost enjoyable.
For next week's challenge, almost enjoyable is one of the worst ways to describe this challenge. It was ridiculously, phenomenally tasty. I was back in Bay City, Michigan, this time at Tavern 101, taking on their Combine Burger. This was an absolute linebacker of a stacked patty challenge. 40 ounces of beef, half a pound of bacon, different types of cheeses, mac and cheese, onion straws. They pretty much had everything on it but vegetables, and it was amazing.
I am not a professional. I do love to eat though.
He looks like a professional.
He does look like a professional. That is not a burger. That is meat Jenga. Oh.
This carnivoric colossus required 4 foot-long wooden skewers just to keep it upright. At this point, the pain was getting pretty darn terrible, and I was stalling on the live stream from having this last bite. But I finally said enough was enough. With about 5.5 minutes on the clock, I downed the last bite of dog and washed it down with that delicious KBC and a little bit of water for good measure.
And that, my friends, is a clean sweep of the Dog Central eating contests.
It was really hard to smile on the outside, but I was all grins on the inside, knowing that I had completed the 4th and final challenge at Dog Central.
Oh, it still hurts.
While not the first person to complete all 4 of their challenges, I do hold the current records for most dogs eaten in 30 minutes and the most dogs eaten in 2 hours.
Enough for the first live. I did finish, yes. At least the eating part of it, yes. The eating part of the challenge is over.
Talking to the owner, he's a firm believer that out of the 4 challenges they offer at Dog Central, this one is the toughest because it is all mental. Decide for yourself. I have my other 3 challenge attempts listed here, here, and here. Thanks for watching, and stay hungry.